Good morning. Sawadee Cup to everyone. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you are. It is Tuesday, May 2nd here in Bangkok, all day long. And today we're going to talk about, and I stumbled on this one, the top 10 countries where men go abroad to find foreign brides. Which I think is kind of a shame. It's good and bad. Bad for the women in the US or wherever else these men are leaving from. Men like me. Although I didn't leave with the intention, hey, I'm gonna get married to some foreign chick. So we're gonna go over that. What else are we gonna go over? I don't even know. I'm, a little bit scattered today. We're gonna go over about the 10 countries, 4 reasons why the women want to be with these men. And you already know what one of them is. Good morning, Jim. Good morning, everybody. Sawadee Cup. Also, from an article a couple of years ago, it's not just you. New data shows more than half of young people in America don't have a romantic partner. The more I see it, the more I think, what are some of these women thinking about? And I'm not one of these guys who will mealy mouth. I'm not going to say, this woman, she's a little chubby and, she wants a really handsome. No, some of these women are fat pigs. They're 250 pounds and they're 5'2", and they expect to get some guy who's earning $500,000 a year. And I just don't understand it. Holy, whoa, moly, thank you very much. Chino, chingon. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm working hard, man, believe me. Yesterday was the first day that I didn't go to the gym. I went 6 days. One day I didn't go. And the thing is, I think I'm allowed to call somebody a fat pig, because I wouldn't say I was a fat pig because I've always been, stout. But I was fat, and I still am overweight. I still need to lose about 14. I need to lose probably 25, 30 pounds. And that's really just to lean me out and to get rid of some of my stomach. But I can tell you my love handles are going away. My stomach's flatter. You can see the muscles in my stomach, even though there's a layer of fat on top of it. You can see the muscles on the side. You can see the muscle, and I'm proud of that. Just because I know I put the work in, and I'm putting the work in. Everybody in our family is exercises, and generally that comes from me, because I've always, with the exception of about a 10-15 year stretch when it was very sporadic with the exercising, and I didn't care about what I ate, which that comes from when I was younger. I used to be able to eat whatever I wanted. I eat a pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, and I would stick right at like 145 pounds. I would never gain any weight. But then, as you get older, your metabolism slows down, and all of a sudden you're eating that Haagen-Dazs ice cream that you like so much, and you go, I gained 7 pounds. So, and I do see a lot of Thais now in the gym, and when I first came here, that's not how it was, and I think that has to do with the fact that more of them are getting fat. Because of the bubble drinks, because of the smoothies, because of the frappuccinos, because of the KFC and McDonald's, and because they eat noodles, and, let's face it, a lot of Thai food is not healthy. If you really break it down, Thai food is not all that healthy. You get the noodles, okay, yeah, it's got carbs in it. If you don't put a lot of sugar, don't put a lot of the sweet sauces in it, you can cut down on that. But even if you go get some chicken, you go get some chicken from 5 Star, from Ha Dao. They got a sauce that's got sugar in it, guarantee you. Go get some mu ping, some pork on a skewer, or whatever it may be, something like that. They're gonna put sugar in the sauce, and guess what? You're eating that sugar, and that eventually will catch up to you. So. Yeah, that's a good analogy there, Carl. Although I will say that in the last couple of months since I went on the keto and the carnivore, and I'll be honest, I'm not as strict as I used to be. I mean, in the beginning, I was so strict. Now I'm like, you know what? The other day my wife made some banana bread, and now I know, and she doesn't put that much sugar. She tries to maybe put half the sugar she normally would put in, but bananas have fructose and all that kind of stuff. It's like, okay, I'll have a piece, and then I'm like, all right, 2 pieces. Then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to work hard and just keep working hard and keep remembering to stick to the diet as much as possible. I have wheat ice cream, but I will say this, that if I look at the breakdown from before 6 months ago to now, I'm in a lot better shape. And that's, I am 60 years old. So I have to be real with myself. I'm probably never going to reach the kind of fitness I were, when I was 21 years old, 22 years old, 24 years old. I'm probably never going to get to that level of fitness again, but I can be in damn good shape, and it can help prevent me from being in pain and being healthy for longer. And so that's good. And the thing is that I've walked a lot. Even when I haven't worked out and I've eaten like shit, I've walked miles every day. And I think that's helped a lot. So, anyway, choke D to you, Chino. Wow, thank you very much. You started my day off right. I always like that. 5 Star and Mu Ping are my weaknesses. They used to be my weaknesses. Now I look at everything when I go up there and I go, does this have sugar? For sure it has sugar. Okay, I'm not going to eat it. For me, that's the big thing, is the sugar. The carbs, even the carbs, that's a big thing. That's the keto thing. That's the carnivore thing. I eat a lot of meat. I eat I have a salad every day. I have kimchi every day. It's like I eat the same thing almost every single day. So once in a great while, I change it up and have something different. But I plan on losing more weight and getting more fit and getting a little more muscular. And I'm going to work at that. And I talked to you guys the other day about, I did a yoga class, I did a core class. I'm doing all these classes now at the gym. And the yoga class kicked my ass, kicked my wife's ass. She's crying about her legs hurting so much. And I understand, because my legs are sore as well. But then I look at my legs and I go, hey, I got nice legs for an old man. Nobody's gonna go, ew, look at those nasty old legs. Nobody says that. And they're not gonna, because they can't. So, it's not a vanity thing for me, really. I mean, it's nice that you look better. But for me, it's about, can I still kick fairly hard? Can I still punch fairly hard? Can I defend myself? And can I be healthy? That's the biggest thing. Defending yourself, most of the time, you don't have to defend yourself. It's good to know that you can, or defend your family or whatever. At least you provide a little bit of resistance, even as an old man. So that's something. But for some reason, my cable is not charging my phone. I don't know what's going on. What I'm going to do, I'm on the gimbal right now. And what I'm going to do is walk out of here. Does anybody know where I am? Anybody? No, nobody knows where I am. Well, I am at Cafe Amazon, as you can see. Does it look like I'm at Starbucks? No, I'm not at Starbucks. I am at Cafe Amazon in Panty Plaza. It's not Panty Plaza. It's not Panty Plaza down Pratunam. It's Pratunam? No, it's Pratunwan. It's Panty Plaza in Bangkok. I'm right near Bangkok Market. So what I'm going to do is, in a minute or two, since I finished my coffee, I'm going to walk from here down to Happy Land and then go into the Cafe Amazon. Then I'm going to get into the 10 countries where all these passport bros, as they're called. I love how they have all these names for things. You know, toxic masculinity. In other words, you're being manly to the point where women find it to be abrasive or irritating or misogynistic. I like all these phrases. I like, oh, MGTOW, men going their own way. Why don't you just be a man? Learn what that means. Be a man. You know, I was thinking about something. I don't know where 2Q Asia is or where he's been. I can only assume he's just taking a break or he's busy or whatever. But, you know, he's come over to my house before. A couple other Chucks come over to the house. There's a couple people. They've come over and watched fights and stuff like that. Every time they come over, guess what happens? My wife is not sitting there cheering, watching. She couldn't care less about the fights. 99. I think she liked the fight between McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. I think that was the fight. But like, we'll be yelling and screaming on the sofa. Guess what she's doing? She's making food. She's serving us, giving us food. She's a good hostess. And I love that. It's great. That's how it should be, in my opinion. You know, and I'm thankful for that. Now, I don't know how often that happens in the States. I'm sure it does. Not all Western women are bad. You just can't get around that, as much as some guys may think that. But I think that a lot of them are misguided. And like I said, I'm sorry, fatties out there. And this is why I love that the guy Kevin Samuels, because he tells him dress size. Well, I wear a size 9. How tall are you? 5 foot. Weight 170 pounds. Honey, you're fat. And you think you're going to get some guy who's worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, unless he's got a fetish for fat chicks. You're not going to land that guy. Wake up and smell the coffee, girls. And I got news for you. What do men want above all? I mean, yeah, listen, of course they want sex. This is men, they want sex, and women want sex too, but women, generally, their sexual needs may or may not decline as they age and as they have children and all that other kind of stuff, or if they're busy or whatever. Same thing with the guys. The guy's really busy, he may not always have time to squeeze it in, or it might be squeezing it in, literally. But that's what men want. They don't want some chick who, I can take care of myself, I can do this. Yeah, of course. It's nice you can take care of yourself, but that's not going to grab the guy. Yeah, exactly, knockers. It's ridiculous, okay? It's truly ridiculous. Now imagine, I'm about 5'5", maybe 5'6" on a good day, if I got hair. And, you know, even when I weighed 145 pounds, I wasn't a big guy. I'm not tall, dark, and handsome. And I always got women. Now, some of that happened to be that, you know, I'm delusional and I would think, I don't care what she looks like, how she is. If I want to go after her, I'm going after her. And that alone would set me apart. I might fail 98 times out of 100, But then the 2 times I ended up getting lucky. So, but imagine a man being the way that women are. And then what do the men get? What do the men get out of the equation? I hate to tell you, but that triangle's a dime a dozen. There's triangle everywhere. Everywhere. There's triangles everywhere. I mean, you know, they're walking around, they're just waiting for the rectangle, the tube, whatever you want to call it, whatever we're going to call this. I hesitated calling it the sausage. It's a dime a dozen. What men want is they want to have, you know, somebody that they can count on, somebody, their ride or die chick. That's what they want. And so when you get women in the States who are going, oh, I want this, I want that, I. How about, this is what I have to offer to the man. I've got a great body. I think I take very good care of myself. I'm a sexy woman. I'll make sure I take care of my man. And not only that, I will have his back, and I will try to earn some money, but I will never let him come last on the list of priorities in my life, ever. I always put him first. But you're never going to be first if they got kids. Oh, well, you know, listen, how many times have men, I mean, be honest, how many times have you, as men, on this chat, and women, you can chime in if you want, but I kind of doubt that you will. How many times have you told a girl, oh, honey, I think you're beautiful. You're lovely to me. And they're like, oh, they just love the compliment. They want to be told they're beautiful, even if they're not. So basically, men lie, and we know that. And women know this. Think about when your chick goes, do I look fat? Do I look fat in these pants? Now, if you say yes, you're an asshole because you tell the truth. But if you say no, you're lying to them if they are fat. Why do all these dokes pander to them? It just encourages their self-deluded mentality. Well, that's been going on for the last 20 years, 30 years. I mean, really, when I was in the States, it was just starting to happen, and then I left, and I haven't seen the extent of it. Yeah, exactly. She had it right. All right, let's get out of here. It's time for me to go, because I don't think, unless I can get a cable from the chick at the other Cafe Amazon, which knowing they're like, their resources are limited at that Cafe Amazon. I probably can't get it, so I gotta hurry up. Let's get out of here. Let's go see a little bit of Bangkok, the streets. Thank you. Kapamaka. Fire drill? I don't know. Oh yeah, I would love to have some of this food right now, but there you go. Waffles, bananas, oh, it smells heavenly. How many times have I walked down this path? Look what we got here. Some nice durian. You were disappointed in the Philippines. Where were you? Were you in Manila? Now, the reason I'm walking here is not because I wanted to be here. Not because I wanted to show you this area, you know, the market or anything like that, but I will show you. There you go. There goes the monorail. It's all connected up now. It's only a matter of time. Now, this is what I wanted to show, is that you can see here, you can see that this flyover, you see the flyover is not connected to here. And it goes down here. So this is going to connect up. There it goes again. And I've seen this go by like 3 times already today. And I haven't seen anybody in it, so I don't think I can take a ride on it. I don't think they're going to let people do that. But they're still building the flyover. Get out of this hot sun. Whew. Now, this is where I saw it the other day when I went to go meet with Tom at the Cafe Amazon down the way. And this road was just completely jam-packed and everybody's looking up. And you know what they're thinking. They're thinking, son of a bitch, I could be on that monorail with no traffic. Well, Bangkok needs more green spaces, that's for sure. There are some green areas in Bangkok, and I'm gonna go to one of them in the next couple of days. Oh, I love these bananas, these little bananas. Oh my God, they're so good. I mean, those are the best. They're such a treat. And you know, 20 baht, you get like 3 of them. They're nice. 20 baht, you know, like maybe 65 cents, something like that. The mall is still open, as I said before. I thought it was going to close up. I was told it was closing. Now I'm told it's not going to close, and it wasn't closed yesterday. So that's good. I don't have to worry about where am I going to get my food. Do I have to go to another grocery store? Something like that. You can see what's going on here. Pretty obvious though. They're just the last phase of finishing this up is going to be this flyover, and as it enters the Mall Bangkok, because I believe they've got that connected now to go into the parking area of the Mall Bangkok. Hey, do me a favor, click that thumbs up, guys. Don't forget to click the thumbs up, doesn't cost you a dime. Subscribe if you haven't done so already. It's a little tight here with these signs. Gotta put the signs here. block everybody's path. This one up ahead doesn't. Okay, I'll just give you a quick shot of the mall in a minute here. It's going to be completely different when they're finished. I have no idea what they're planning. Yep. High income destination. All right, so let me show you this here. If you look here, you can see it turns into the parking area, but they've pulled down like all the signs. They pulled down. I mean, there's only one way in, and it's right. I don't know if you can see it right there where it says M on the white background, and it says a happy place to live life. Happy place to live life. I mean, all the way down, it's closed up. You can go up top. I could go up here and cross in, but they don't open until 10 o'clock. This pharmacy over here is such a good pharmacy, and the pharmacist and the owner are so, they got their act together. That's all I'll say. They open at 9:30. Well, they did have soapies, but it was also, you know, like a carnival kind of place. You know, they had all kinds of rides and stuff like that, which is originally why it was called Happy Land. And then they had some soapies and stuff, and then it changed over to this. But you can see everything is blocked. Everything you see there is, you can't get in. There's no way in. The only way to get in is over here, and then on the ground floor, and then up here. So this is the end of the mall right here. It's a mess, man. I mean, it's like they just pieced it all together. It really is kind of an eyesore. They could make it look a lot more beautiful. Oh, wow. Too bad I can't eat these. Takoyaki, Luke, 5 baht. So 5 baht for each one of those. You gotta watch your step here. Guess where we're going? Happy Street. ลูกเดียวก็5 บาท Ooh, what is this? Coconut. This is not the usual coconut girl. Sorry, guys. I have nothing to do with this. I don't pick them. See, so they close this up. You go to 7-Eleven. Oh, it's the coconut lady's not even here. So I don't believe we can go in. We'll take a little shortcut though. Happy Street. 40 baht, 50 baht. A buck 50, a buck 30 for a shirt. They do have a lot of tasty food here. Cow soy, back behind me. No, it's not the same one. There used to be a little, in that last stall, there used to be this little Muslim girl. And she told me once, you guys have seen her if you've been watching for a while. She told me once, she said, you know, my mother wants me to leave. I'm like, why? And she says, because I don't want to wear all my Muslim, you know, the hijab and all the other stuff. And she's worried I'm going to get in trouble. And then she told me she had a foreign boyfriend before. And I was like, oh, I see. All right. And she's never been back. She's been gone, though, for the whole time. Here we go.
What, you're not open? My bird.
What kind of shithole place is this? Oh my God. That place, and this place is so irritating to me. I don't know why I come back here. Honestly. I mean, I've gone in there and the girl's gone, oh, I'm sorry, we're out of coffee. And of course, all the shelves are completely empty. They have no water. They have no coffee. They have nothing. And I'm like, what's going on here? And, you know, to me, it seems like the woman who owns the place must have financial trouble. She had 3 employees before, and now she only has 1. And the girl's sitting there with her kid, not open yet. So they probably don't open until 10. So now I got to find another coffee shop, which is fine with me, whatever. But it's just one thing after another at that place. And, you know, like me, I'm a glutton for punishment. I keep going back thinking, well, it's convenient. And there's one upstairs, but obviously right now they're not open. It does smell good here, though. Look at me. I got beads of sweat. It's very hot. What time is it? 9:40. There's coffee and tops. I just want to get out of the heat, man. Whew. Brutal heat, man. We can go in. We'll go into tops just because it's air conditioned. Oh, they move some of the stuff around. Oh wow. Oh yeah. Yes, that is where Andy and I ate, in Happy Land food court. Whew. It is so hot outside right now. When I looked, I tried to remember, it was 98. The feel like temperature was 98 at 8 o'clock, so it's probably 102 right now. Thinking about one of these coffees. I don't really need one though. Espresso 30 baht. This was going to be my go-to place for certain foods if the mall closed, just be, you know, for a quick pick up a couple of things, because they have some meat, they have protein drinks. Actually, these protein drinks are cheaper. They're 5 baht cheaper than 7-Eleven. Anyway, so this is Tops. Go for a little water, actually. That's what I'll do. Brutally hot. Absolutely brutal. Let's see, which one do I want? Whew. I'm gonna stand right under the air conditioner. Well, this is not your full Tops store. This is a cheaper, you know, but the smaller little mini Tops or whatever. Unbelievable. Anyway, we gotta talk about this. You gotta give me a minute. I gotta think about where am I gonna go so that I can talk about the top 10 places. Is this the paper? No. Top 10 places in the world for the passport bros. Really, that's just a phrase that was coined for people who leave the country and they go find women to marry or whatever. But people have been doing that for years. They go abroad, they meet some woman, she's like nothing, she's like no one I've ever met before. She's so exotic and beautiful. Meanwhile, the locals don't think she's beautiful. And, you know, whatever, that's good. But they don't think they're beautiful, fine. It doesn't matter to me. All right, 10 best countries to find foreign brides and best nationalities to marry. I'm just going to give you the quick summary right from the beginning. In Asia, the Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand. In Eastern Europe, Ukraine, Poland, Russia. I would add in there Latvia. In Latin America, Colombia, Brazil, Mexico. In Africa, Djibouti, Nigeria, and Ethiopia. Now, the Philippines divorce rate is next to zero or zero, and that is because divorce in the Philippines is illegal. The average marriage age in the Philippines is 23.4 years of age, which is, you know, 23 and 23 and 1/3 years old, if that makes sense. Number 2, let's see here. Okay, well, let's do it this way. Let me do it the right way. 10 best countries. So what, I didn't get the countries? Oh, they're in the other page. Shows you how I got my act together. These ladies are just looking at me. What's this guy doing? Oh, he's drinking his water. That's okay. Here we go. 10 best countries. Ooh, Thailand. Now, I love how you know, most of this information comes from the dating websites, dating apps, and so they want to push the whole online marriage, online dating. Hey, you can find the girl of your dreams. Yeah, maybe she's a pain in the ass though, just like every other woman. You know, I mean, you can put it that way. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that every woman is a pain in the ass. Let's get it right. They're not. They can be at times, but just like men can be a pain to them. So it's even Steve. Thailand is amongst the best country to meet a woman for marriage since local girls go crazy about men who arrive from the continent. Yeah, that's overkill. I can guarantee you they ain't going crazy over me anymore. It's not a secret that Thai girls are considered hot and sexy despite their outer naive look and modesty, but it's a good quality for a wife who wants to keep a man besides her. Also, the Philippines. The Philippines deserves the title for best country for mail order brides. I didn't even know there was such a thing anymore. They not only take first place on the list of U.S. fiancés brought about from abroad, but also became a member of the couple that has the smallest chances of ending up in divorce. That's because it's illegal. The majority of Filipina mail-order brides become faithful and reliable life partners ready to support and care for their men. Okay, now, I used a couple of apps here in Saudi. It seems like the easiest thing to do. I never used a dating app until I came over here. It seems strange, and dating is nerve-wracking. Well, how is it for you there? I'm gonna go outside and sit on one of the chairs. I don't want to overstay my welcome here. You know, it's one thing to get nice and cool here, but it's another thing just to stand here for the next hour inside of the top supermarket live streaming. Seems, you know, a bit too much. This place always smells good. And I will say this, I will preface this whole subject with, be careful what you wish for. I have no word over here. See, that's the other thing. Let's go over here. I know a little place. You know, there used to be a guy who, anytime I need something sewed, a little tear or something like that, he would sew my stuff up. And he used to be like right here. Or maybe it was right here, I don't know. No, it was right here. This is where it was. And he has not come back since the COVID hit. He left and he's never come back. So all these little salons. All right. She just took my spot. I was gonna sit there. I'm gonna sit right here. Oh God. All right, what does this say? It's mostly Philippine girls here, either nurses or domestic helpers. I mean maids. Now that or maids or nannies. Now that I'm headed back to the States, the goal is to just get out more and not use apps. Well, I would say that's probably a pretty good goal. The next on the list is China. China. I'm sorry. If you're an American guy, I understand the whole, Chinese girls are petite, submissive, and all, but that's not the truth. Women are women. You piss them off, and, they're not as petite and feminine as you may think. I mean, yeah, granted, they're going to be feminine most of the time, much more than in some places like the U.S. Chinese brides know how to let men feel respected, appreciated, and cared for. And I've known a couple of guys, and I knew one guy, and I've told this story a long time ago about this guy that I met when I was, just before I went to go work in Alaska. He had made $100,000 selling frickin' t-shirts. I mean, he was a hustler. He was a young guy. He was hustling t-shirts. He bought the shirts in China. He ended up going there, met a chick. They kept in touch, and then he ended up marrying a girl. One day, he goes to his bank account to go take money out. Boom, there's no money there. He's like, what the hell? I had 100 G's here. He goes home. She says, oh yeah, my mother and father needed the money, so I took the money out. And he's like, hey, you can't, what do you, no, you need to talk to me about that. What did you do? I need the money. Sorry, we are family. I needed to give it to him. You had it, so that's why it's gone. Sorry. And he divorced her, which rightly so, 100 G's. You would think she would at least have the courtesy to ask. So I'm not big on the whole Chinese chick, and quite honestly, on the whole, listen, at least you can say in Thailand, every couple of minutes you're going to see a cute Thai girl. Once in a great while you see a really hot one. In China, when I've been in China, the 2 times I've been in China, I didn't see many hot Chinese chicks. I saw some cuties, but really. All right, next. My nose itches. You know what that means. Next. Ukraine. The thing with the Hong Kong girls was that they were, you probably, unless your game is quite elevated, you're probably not going to talk your way into their pant, and you're a great looking guy. You're probably not just going to talk your way into a relationship in a matter of a short trip. You might bang them, but you're not going to get involved. You go there for a week or two, it's probably not. They're smarter than that. That's what I would say. Anyway, Ukraine. Ukraine remains a leader among most popular countries for the wife searches regarding Slavic brides. I have heard that. These women can be purchased for money since they admit to hugging and kissing a man only out of pure love. These women can be purchased for money. I think it means can't be. I don't know. What makes Ukrainian women outstanding is their intellect, sense of humor, and curiosity. Oh, well, curiosity is a good thing. No, sorry. I'm going to disagree. From what I've seen, and I've been around the block in China. I've been to some nice, really nice hotels, and there were a couple of really hot, they were like pretty girls like here in Thailand, and they were really good looking. But the chance of you getting involved with them in a serious relationship if you don't speak Chinese, forget about it, man. I'm sorry, much easier here, and the level, I would say, yeah, I mean, whatever. We can debate that all day long. It doesn't matter. The next on the list is Indonesia. Indonesia deserves to be the best country, to be called the best country to marry a woman, since it's a source of excellent wives. It's been a source of excellent wives for many years. Local ladies are raised in families where men take charge and girls are taught to follow traditional gender roles. About the only gender role that my wife does not follow is that she works. She works because in the beginning, we thought, what did she go to university for? What's the point of her going to school if she's not going to do something with her degree? And in the very beginning, I took care of her. She didn't have to do anything except take care of the kids, and that's how I wanted it. And I was able to do it, and I was happy to do it. But then, things changed. It wasn't as easy for me. And so she was like, well, I want to start working. I'm bored staying at home. The kids are at school all day. I need to start working. So now she works. And most of the time she's pretty good about she's not one who wants to go and party or anything. It's like, first of all, she's a little older, so it's not like she's going to go into the club and compete with little 22-year-old girls. But I like that. I like that traditionalism. I think that's rather important. So, let's continue. Indonesia. Yeah, well, Indonesia is very, pretty traditional. Russia. When looking for the best wives in the world, you pay attention to Russia and be impressed by what a variety of women live there. I think it's supposed to be by the variety of women living there. Since the country unites many minorities, men can meet women with any appearance, skin tone, and other characteristics. If you meet a Russian girl, you'll spot how creative, fun-loving, and unusual they are. There's a huge difference between ladies from rural areas, where ladies are more modest, hardworking, and traditional, and urban areas with more ambitious, self-confident, and educated girls. Listen, when I was in Russia, I was there twice. Also in Russia, I was there twice. Once I was in Moscow. Another time I was in Yekaterinburg. And I'll tell you what, in Yekaterinburg, obviously, this is not that long ago, and I was married, and I didn't do anything. In fact, I was calling my wife every day. We talked every day. But I went into a mall, and there were girls selling coffee there. And they go, oh, usually you buy the coffee, but you can have a cup. It's no problem. And they just gave me a cup of coffee. They sat there and they talked with me. And there was like 4 really good-looking Russian girls, and they wanted to know, where are you from? What are you doing here? Blah, blah, blah. And I thought, oh, my God. They were some good-looking women. And then when I was in Moscow, we went to a gym. We went to a fitness center. And actually, a girl asked me for tickets to the fights. And I never gave them to her. I told her I would, and I said, yeah, I'll give you. And then there was we only had a couple tickets left, and we had to give them to certain people. And I was like, she comes last on the list. She's not a priority. Anyway, so Russia's another one. Japan. Now, I will admit, when I was younger, I could never think of being with a Thai chick, Filipino, a Chinese girl. But I did think about Danish women, Russian women, and Japanese women. And I think with the Japanese women, it was all about the, demure, very quiet girl in the kimono. And she was so lovely and cute with great skin. And, she would help around the house. And then in the evening, you'd get to indulge in the heavenly, mystical, oriental lovemaking process with your Japanese wife. How naive I really was. Or maybe I was in tune when it came to the Japanese, but anyway, because, they treasure their children and people they are close to. So even in interracial marriages, they follow these values traditional to Japanese society. Where's Tokyo Sam when you need him? A sweet look with pale skin, they mesmerize at first glance, and their exotic beauty and youth remain with them for ages, and that's pretty true. Well, I think that with Japanese women, I think it's about, do you have enough money for them to live comfortably and go shopping while you're at work? And if that's what you want, then fine. I mean, that's just what I've heard. I don't know that it's true, but I have heard that that's what a lot of them want. They want to meet a guy who's going to take care of them, let them stay at home, take care of the baby or whatever, and then they go to the gym, which is good. They go to the gym, they go shopping, which depends on what they're shopping for and how often. So anyway, so Japanese, that's another one. Brazil can be called the best Latin country to find a wife due to an amazing selection of girls and the unforgettable experience men can have there. I gotta say, I have not really heard too many good things about Brazilian women who are wives. In fact, Tom had a Brazilian wife. And what I hear is that they can be a bit crazy. Now, I understand. It's not specific to just Brazilian women, but that's what I've heard. I've heard a lot of that. All right, let's get over here. Yeah, I mean, I've been to Shanghai, I've been to Beijing, I've been to many, many places in China, actually. And I've been to some just passing through. God, this is like an old alley in Chinatown. Jesus Christ. We got like 1 or 2 minutes. Oh, God, I gotta get away from this. This guy's looking at the clock. We're getting ready to open it up. Here's another little alley here. Now, worst case scenario, there is another coffee shop in this place that I'll go to. And the lady's very nice. All right, they're open. It's time to go in. Time to go in the nice, cool air. Oh. I tell you what, this place is not open, or it's not open yet. Even though the girl is in there, I don't know what she's doing in there if they're not going to open up, but I will sit at their table and chill out. Oh, yeah. The mask mandate is now back off the shelf. You mean in the United States? Where they were going to, I mean, or was that the mask mandate? No, that was the vaccine mandate that I'm thinking of. What mask mandate? What are you talking about? I have no idea what you're talking about. Mask mandate. Next on the list, Colombia. You're talking about vaccination. Next on the list, Colombia. Best foreign wives also live in Colombia, a Latin American country where women crave foreign men's attention. They have a special passion for white guys. I just think that they're really pushing it too much. You're talking about vaccine. It's not a vax mandate. It's you must have at least one vaccination in order, if you're a foreigner, in order to enter the United States. I think that's what it is. They have a special passion and seduce them not only with piercing gazes, but also sexy outfits, lovely body curves, and hot dances. Think about it this way, gentlemen. Be smart. Okay, she can have a fantastic body. She can have a fantastic triangle. She can be the sweetest, nicest lady, but if it's only about the money, or if she's got some huge red flag, then basically have your fun. Just look at it as having a good time. And then when it comes down to crunch time, when you got to make a decision, like she's saying we have to be exclusive, or we got to get married, or I'm going to have to give up a chunk of money so that she can be my girlfriend, or some bullshit like that, then you go, it's been fun, honey. And you don't have to say anything. You can ghost her. They do it to us, so why can't you do it to them? They do it to us being men who are single. I'm not including myself in that. Anyway. Yeah, it doesn't look like this place is going to open up. It really shocks me. I don't understand why. This place has been closed like 4 days, every so often, and there's somebody inside. They just don't want to open up. I don't know what the deal is. I don't understand it. They didn't have any water. They didn't have any cakes. They didn't have any little cookies. They were out of coffee, and they still opened up. And now they have plenty of cakes and sweets and stuff, but, you know. Well, you know, you got to remember something. And believe me, as someone who's been married for, you know, 22 years, 23 years, whatever the hell it's been now. I've been with her for 23 years. You know, you meet them and they're young. And this is the good thing. You get to experience them when they're young and in their prime. And eventually, they're gonna get older. It doesn't matter how hot they are. They're still gonna age. Like I was talking about Heidi Klum. I mean, she looks pretty good for her age. But I'm looking at her on Instagram. Who knows what she's done to the photos? Who knows what it's been? You know what she's done with filters and in Photoshop. Who knows? You know, that's why Elizabeth Hurley. She's looking so hot at 60. What do you want? You want her at 60, or you want her at like 30? I'll take her at 30. I'll take her before she's popped out a couple of kids. But the idea is that you get to go through things with them when they're younger. And so that is one of the benefits. And what's so funny, we've had 7 years of bliss together, and we've been married 25 years. Yeah, I know what you mean, man. I get it, believe me. There are times when I just shake my head and I go, what the you know, or what is she thinking? Or why is she thinking this way? After 30, women are more interested in their financial future, and it becomes a mutually benefit. Yes, I agree. I agree with that. When you're younger, that's the other thing. When you're younger, it's like, oh, he's a nice guy, and he's so cute. And you know, and we have fun in the sack, and you know, he takes care of my every need, and you know, he's got a pretty good job. Then when they get older and they got a couple of kids, it's like, you know, hey, we need more of this and more of that. We need money for Pampers. We need, you know, we're gonna have a doctor's appointment coming up. That's gonna be $1,000. Do we have it? Yes, honey, we have it, but then we're gonna be broke. You know, I mean, that's kind of how they think. When you're younger, she's like, I love his coat. Yeah, I kind of, I'm reading between the lines. I agree. All right, so Colombia is the other one. Another one. Belarus. Local women are bright representatives of desired European brides. As much as all these are nice, my buddy showed me pictures and talked about this girl from Latvia, and man, he lost out on her because she was a keeper. He didn't end up. She came over to the States and visited with him, stayed with him, and you know, of course, everything was grand. And instead of following through and saying, let's continue to be a couple, he didn't, and then he lost out because he went with some other chick and she went with another guy, and then everything got screwed up. Anyway, that's life. If you're looking for a classic marriage where a man takes the lead and his wife follows him, a Belarus wife can make your dreams come true. All right, maybe. Well, this is the thing. This is what I'm talking about. Some of them are, I mean, let's face it, obesity is such a problem in the world, and also definitely in the United States. I can't, listen, when I went, the first time I had gone back to the States, now, of course, I've told this story. I tell my stories over and over again, but, you know, sometimes there's time lapses and in between. And anyway, I was on an American airline flight. I had come from Bangkok, and I went to, like, L.A., and I was flying from L.A. to Miami. I'm on American Airlines. And I need to go to the bathroom, so I walk over to the bathroom, and I see this massive woman. And I mean massive. She was like 350. She wasn't like, you know, 200, 150. You know, she wasn't a little bit overweight. She was massive. She was like she was like the fridge. Anyway. So she's standing there and I'm like, what the hell is she doing? I'm like, I need to get her. Her kid's like, Mommy, you know, I need your help. Wipe my ass, you know, that kind of thing. She can't fit into the goddamn bathroom. She's trying to squeeze in, she can't fit. And then, to make it worse, I was like, all right, so she's a fat shit. She's big, she's got a problem, she's got a weight problem. Okay. It is what it is, right? However, I'm sitting there, I get served my meal, and I'm like, what the hell? It's a stewardess who's like 48 years old, probably weighs about 200 pounds, and not with a smile on her face. She was not friendly. She was not, you know, sir, would you like some tea, or would you like this, or would you like that? No, it was just like, ugh. She grunted like a cave woman. And I thought to myself, Jesus Christ, they let stewardesses, like, be stewardesses when they're, like, bigger than the average guy? And that woke me up. That made me think, Jesus Christ, what's going on in the United States when you got, you know, when you're in Asia, I mean, even here, they're getting bigger and bigger. Maybe it's a natural evolution of people, of human beings. All right, so let me see here. 1920. Okay, this is it. What are the best countries to find a loyal wife? And I gotta laugh at this one because the second one on here is the Philippines. And I'm not slamming Philippine women. I'm not trying to do that. But I know that, you know, I know from experience that Filipinos can be some sneaky, they can be sneaky. Now, I'm not saying once they marry you, they are, you know, they may have the whole Catholic thing, no divorce, and that, you know, that might be great, but that doesn't mean that they are always loyal. So I think it pays to make sure to, yeah, be aware. I think you need to do it. Are you going to open today? Go but wani man. Kamaya. So I said, are you going to open today? No, we're not going to open today. I said, why? I don't know. But yet she's in here, in her uniform. I don't get it, man. So she came to work, and they're not open. That's just crazy. This is probably, it is very convenient. And, you know, the thing is I can go to the second floor. I can go up there right now. That's what I should do. I'll just walk up there right now. I'll walk up there. We have a little bit of time left. I got a little juice on my phone. Shit, I gotta go back home anyway because my cable is not working to charge my phone. There is one on the second floor, and I will say it's a bit better than this one, in my humble opinion. It would be discrimination not to hire a woman based on their weight. Well, I'm sure that the stewardess who was older was probably lean and in shape when she first was hired, or in somewhat better condition. But they're not allowed to fire her because she gained too much weight. Because she became a walking hippopotamus on the plane. I mean, that's pretty much what she was like. And I was like, holy shit. I mean, you're talking about ankles that are like as big as the area around my knees on my legs. She was big. I still remember her, and I remember the chick going in. And the chick going in was like, I was like, holy shit. I felt bad for her because she couldn't fit in the bathroom. Imagine trying to go and you got to take a dump and you're like, I can't fit my fat ass through the door. And I mean, let's just call it what it is. If you got too much excess body weight, you're fat. You're overweight. You can spin it however you want. Oh, I'm big boned. But the bottom line is that it's too much fat. And I'm here to tell you because you know what? That's what I know something about being extremely fit, and I know something about being overweight or being fat or being extremely big boned. However you want to put it. I'm not going to go up there just because I just don't feel like walking over there. Or I could give you guys a little stroll through memory lane here. Can't believe they're not opening. It's not a holiday today. Is the bar scene in Bangkok the same as Pattaya, or is... I've never been to Thailand. It's a bit different because it's all in one area and there's a huge number of bars and go-go's and that sort of thing. Better is, I would say, if you're just going for that, then it's probably better. But, you know, Bangkok has its share of truly hot women, and it really depends. If you don't know what you're doing, I would say go to Pattaya. Don't pay them before you do the deed. You know, if some chick starts telling you she wants 10,000 baht, tell her to take a hike. Let me sit down and we can discuss this a little further. I love this little walkway. Although they have pretty much nothing that I would ever buy in this little alley here. Aside from maybe a phone case or something. Steep drop there. There we go. Okay, now we're in a well, I think, you know, if you're halfway sharp, you'll make it. You'll make it all right. Most of them speak a little bit of English there in the bars. I mean, that's why guys go to the bars, because they speak a bit of English. Just don't fall in love. Don't send me your letter telling me how, you know, the girl promised you the world and then she ran off and, you know, she stole everything you have or something like that. I don't want to hear it. If you're that stupid, then you deserve everything that you get. I mean, you know, you really need to remember, it's just have fun. That's all. And being nervous is a good thing. See women as only being after your money until experience tells you otherwise, and you won't go far wrong. Yeah, very good, Carl. You know, it's about what the money brings. It's about what power brings. It's about the... and, you know, what I always go is, if you want money, why don't you earn it yourself? What's the problem? You can't earn it yourself? So you are the weaker sex then. If they really believe that, oh, I want a sugar daddy because I'm too lazy to work. I'm going to work on my body. Yo, I got news for you, honey. You're 25. By the time you're 40... and you popped out 2 or 3 kids, you'll be lucky to keep that body in the anywhere near the kind of shape when you were 20 or 25. So what good are you to me? You know, really, you got to have more to offer than that. And, you know, I don't want to hear about building my empire or any of that shit. First of all, I don't have an empire. And what money I've earned, I've worked damn hard for it. And scraped and saved, and, you know, I certainly would not be one to give away money frivolously. And I think if you remember that, remember the value of $1. Remember the value of your bond. Yeah, you go, girl. Be a boss bitch. Well, what I always say is find a woman who has something that she has, a way to take care of herself, or that she has a mission in life, some kind of a mission. You know, in some cases, if a guy is really making a lot of money, it makes more sense for the woman to stay home, take care of the kids, and help him. Hey, go pick up my dry cleaning, that kind of stuff. I had a woman do that for me at one point, long time ago. Never get emotionally involved with a bar girl. Yeah, well, that should be. I should make a little, I should make some graphic and post that. Do not get, it should be really, I say bar girl, but with bar girl, I mean woman working in a massage parlor, woman working, anytime you're dealing with somebody who's a bar girl, who is a go-go dancer, who is working in a soapy, who's working in a massage parlor. You're dealing with women, honestly, and it's not their fault some of the time. Some of the time it is their fault. They get into bad situations. Some of the time it's their family's fault. Sometimes it's just their standing in life. They're just born, they're handed a bad card. Their parents don't have money for them to go to school, and they're like, they got a second-grade education. What kind of job? What kind of future do they have? And when I see some chick behind a perfume counter selling perfume, I think to myself, okay, so what's this chick's future? What's this chick's future who is, selling little 200 baht bottles of cologne or perfume and selling a little tiny bit of makeup or something? What's her future? She doesn't really have a great future. So, it depends on what you want. Maybe, if you're the guy who's going to come and save her and rescue her, then you're the Captain Save-A-Ho. Now, she may not be a hoe, so it could be, you're the knight in shining armor. But when you go into those bars, you got to remember something. Why on earth would you want to pay Sinsod? Why on earth would you want to take her? It's granted if you're a little older in life and you're set, and you don't have any problems, you know how to handle yourself, you know about the bar scene. There are very few exceptions. But why would you subject yourself to that? Where you got a girl who's got, maybe you might go, oh, she's really sharp. Yeah, she's really sharp, but she's uneducated. In the eyes of the Thai government, in the eyes of employers, she's not a good candidate for a job. And they know this, and they are able to ferret out the fact that this woman, she has been working in the red light district. They know this. So once you say to yourself, oh, this one's okay, my girl's different. No, she's not different. She's just like every guy is the same. The only thing that's different is their amount in their bank account. And, maybe, if you gotta have something. You gotta have something. And I say that all the time. You can be a great looking guy and not have much money, and you're gonna get laid all day. But by the time those looks start to fade, or as the women are now saying, they hit the wall, Jim, I think you don't know what you're talking about, honestly. I think your experience is very limited, and you really don't know what you're talking about. You meet some of these girls who are driving a BMW, maybe mama and papa they've set them up, they've got money. I know one girl, she's married to a doctor. You think that girl's gonna go, oh gosh, if somebody gives me 100,000 baht, I'm gonna sleep with them. She don't give a shit. To you, you might think that, and I understand, you're talking about village girls, the lower economic strata of society, the middle, income kind of women. Okay, you start getting up to the higher society chicks. Now, they may want a one-off. Some of them might want a one-off, and they might just, but I can tell you, that like when I was younger and I was here, it didn't take money sometimes. It took just being the right way, and just if the women want you, they want you. That's as simple as that. That's all I can say. They're the ones who decide, hey, I want to open my legs for this guy. And some of them are going to go, I wouldn't open my legs up for this guy if he paid me. And some, like I said yesterday, they look at you and they go, this guy's a foreigner. I don't want him. I don't care what he gives me. He could kiss my ass all day long. I'm not giving him anything. Because they don't want to stray from their own kind. There are plenty of women like that. And then there are women who are staunch in their, they are resolute. They will not cave in just for the money. Now, I'm not saying it can't be true. Of course it can be. We know. But then again, it's like, oh yeah, in Thailand, all the girls you can just get them for a song and a dance. That's bullshit. But the thing is if you go to America, you pay them enough money. What, you think a lot of the girls aren't going to go, okay, hey. Now, I know, I can tell you there's one woman, I don't know her really well or anything. I know of her, more of her. She's a friend of a friend. She gets money from guys all the time. She doesn't do a thing with them. So, they want to give the money to her. And she's like, listen, and like I say, my mama didn't raise no fool. If I have something of value, whether it be information or, I'm a chick and I got a nice booty, or I'm cute and I smile, and the guys want to throw money at me, you tell them, okay, well, this doesn't mean that, we're an item. It just means that I appreciate you, and what they call it here is a sponsor. I know many times that I went out and I would see some girl, I'd be with a couple girls or a girl, and we'd see a girl and she's like alone, and I go, hey, what are you up to? What's your name? Whatever, a little small talk. She'd talk amongst the girls, and then I go, so what's your deal? What are you doing here? I'm looking for a sponsor. I look for a sponsor. And I'm like, in my eyes, a sponsor gets something back. They get a return for their investment. Ugh. I hate that phrase. And the thing is as I've gotten older, I don't hear it too often because I'm not in those situations. But when I was younger and I was old enough to where I was like 40 years old or something. Some of the girls would they would joke and they go, oh, you papa, and I'd be like, oh, shut up. That's the last thing a guy wants to hear is about how you're their father. Kind of takes it away. Maybe someone in the Kren tribe will sleep with you for some shiny glass beads. Listen, that's the thing. It really depends on what they need. Good morning, John. It depends on what they need and how desperate they are. And in poor areas, the women are more willing to give it up if it means they're going to get something that's going to help them live better. And I don't frown upon them for that. I don't think it's a bad thing what they're doing. I think they're doing what they got to do. And, the thing is I'm a man. I personally can't see myself, doing that with, it's different for me. It's too out there. But as a woman, you got to understand, what do they got to value? It always comes back to one thing. What do men want? Men don't always want some woman hugging and kissing them or telling them how great they are or cooking them a dinner. I can cook my own goddamn dinner. I can pay for a meal at a restaurant and somebody will cook me a dinner. So what do they have that, they really want that they can't have? I'm sorry, the hand doesn't cut it. A little, what do you call it? The little plastic doodads, they don't cut it. That's not the same thing. There's nothing beats having a woman. So they understand that. And like I said, you can't fault them for it. But you can be aware that, hey, this is what it is. It's a business relationship. And I would say that, especially like in Cambodia and here, and maybe in Vietnam and China, all over Southeast Asia, I would say, if you meet up with the right woman, and you have enough money, you might be able to hammer out some kind of a deal. But all I'm saying is, once you start saying, every chick is up for grabs, well, they're all up for grabs. If you really want to think that way, they're always up for grabs. Whether they're married, whether they're, it doesn't matter what their status is. They're always up for grabs. If they want to give it up, they'll give it up. But what I'm saying is, there are a lot of them that are like, I don't have to give it up for money. If I want to give it up, I'm going to give it up because I want to give it up. And I've met, quite a few that, they see me, they run up and they'd hug me and they'd be like, okay, so what are we doing tonight? And in my mind, I'm thinking, honey, you know what we're doing tonight. Now, what's in between, I don't know. Because sometimes, I would say that most men, they don't want to go out and hang out with the girl and her girlfriends and buy everybody a bunch of drinks and get shit-faced. I don't know, maybe some guys do. Maybe guys who like to drink, that's what they do. They don't mind that. For me, I'd rather just okay, so let's go. We're going back to my place. Just get to the crux of what it's all about, I have to watch what I say. Be careful here. I don't want to get rude. I understand what you mean, Jim. But I think if you, and it's very difficult to say it in a way where you're not saying, well, everybody is like that. But there is a large, let me put it a different way. There is a large swath of the female population that if you make the right deal, they'll either sleep with you, marry you, fuck off. I think I'm being direct and forthcoming. If you think that every single chick is and what made me laugh is these articles written by these dating sites. You go to Thailand and you got a white face. Oh my God, the girls, they just love guys and they fall in love and they want to be with you. And yeah, I mean, even when I was young and about as good looking as I was ever gonna be, and fit. Yeah, I mean, I was more of an anomaly than now. Now there's foreigners everywhere. No one gives a shit. Back in the day, it was, you could walk somewhere and you can fuck off too, jet lag. If you really believe that. I'm telling you the truth. You don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to hear the truth. You don't want to listen. That's up to you. Go for it. I think I've proven myself many times over. All right, let me see here. What was the deal that I wanted to? I got something about Saudi too. What's going on in Saudi's house? In the Saudi government wants to. Well, I guess they are already charging people who are social media influencers. They have to pay $4,000 for a 3-year permit to be a social media influencer. I think that's kind of crazy, but okay. The 4 reasons why foreign women want to be with men. Now, we already know of one. We know of one reason. And that is number 2 on this list here. Hopes to move away and get a better quality of life. Now, I don't know that it means move away. I think it has to do with money. It's just about money. Money and what that provides. And that provides a lot of things to people, but many different things depending on the person. And for some, they want to go back. If you're a Filipino woman, maybe you want to go to the United States with your American husband. If you're a Thai woman, maybe that's what you want to do. Or maybe you just want to stay in Thailand. And for the smart guy, I think the smart guy will not bring their newfound wife back to wherever they live immediately. I think that's a recipe for disaster. I think they take a few trips over, kind of like coming to a new country as an expat. They take a few trips over, they get to know the place, they start to get a feel for the place, and they spend time with the person that, you know, they like. You know, I wouldn't have wanted to take my wife to America in the first or second year, third year, something like that. No, why? You know, she's young and in her prime. She goes over there, and it's like, man, she's in you know, the world is her oyster. You know what I'm saying? So I haven't talked to him in about a week. I've been meaning to get a hold of him. So, you know, the money and what it offers. Well, I guess it depends on what kind of loans they were. If they were the loan sharks, well, then you probably you're better off paying them off. It was, you know, if it was a credit card or something like that, you're still probably better off paying it off. But you know, it's about what you want, and you know, the question is not, hey, or you know, the way that you approach it, the mentality about it is important, because if you think, oh, I'm just going to pay all her bills off and then everything will be fine. She's got a bunch of loans, and she had to, you know, she had to pay for this, and she had to do this, she had to do that. She took out a loan from a loan shark, and you know, well, the thing is that how did she get herself in that predicament? And what's to stop it from happening again when you're like in the United States or in Australia or Europe somewhere? What's to stop it from happening again? And you know, I know quite a few guys, man. They brought chicks over. I knew a guy who brought a chick over to Switzerland, and I used to go out with the chick, and she was a very attractive woman. She could get all kinds of guys. They were always hitting on her. And this guy took her to Switzerland. And I was like, oh shit, man, that doesn't, I can't see that working out. And then she came back and she told me, she goes, well, I was getting drunk too much. I was partying too much. And then one night I partied and I went out and I was running around on the streets of Switzerland, drunk off my ass, and he got pissed off because, you know, it was unbecoming of his woman. And that was it. He sent her home, sent her packing, which, you know, good on him. Anyway, so the money and the ability to have a better quality of life is one thing. And then generally, if a woman, like in Thailand, this happens all the time, they tried to build a family with a local man, and they thought they really loved him, and the guy runs off on them, or he you know, he turns out to be a drunk or a druggie or whatever, and then they're left on their own. So when a girl faces trouble finding a spouse and has to experience disappointments in relationships, she'll try to change anything, and foreign men might be the answer for them. Attraction to men of different nationalities. I mean, men are attracted to women of different nationalities, so why wouldn't women be attracted to men of different nationalities? Even in the States, you know. Oh my God, that Australian guy's so hot, I just love his accent. You know. Oh, you're British? I just love your accent, it's so cute. Next thing you know, he's like, I'll show you cute, honey. Every girl has her image of an ideal apartment, of an ideal partner that could be created based on movies, famous personalities, or in any other way. No wonder they dream of finding a person who will remind them of this perfect image, and seeks a groom in the country where men coincide with it most accurately. I don't know about that, but okay, I understand they're into different nationalities. Fourth, last but not least, being offended and made to marry men selected by parents for them. Arranged marriages are still popular in some countries, and so is physical punishment from the men's side. No one deserves such an attitude, so ladies wish to flee away from their homes and violence with a loving man they met online. All these reasons clarify why so many women prefer to substitute partners they used to have. Wait a minute here, let me reread this. Some of this stuff is really poorly written. All these reasons clarify why so many women prefer to substitute partners they used to have for foreigners and put so much effort into making this wish come true. It's a wish. But where can men meet these devoted and marriage-oriented women? Okay, so those are the 10 countries that I told you about to find the women. That's what you get. So, there we go. Anyway, so we're at about what, 96 minutes? Yeah. I love hearing all these comments about this stuff because I know a lot less now about the current scene in like the United States and elsewhere than I did at one time. And for me to hear these things and see how things have changed. Did anybody see that movie with Nicole Kidman? I think it was The Birthday Girl or something like that, where she was a mail order bride. I thought that was a pretty good movie. Know a few guys, okay. Indian Bollywood shows on Thai TV now, and seems more Thai women gravitating to Indian men for marriage. Really? Good luck with that. That's what I'll tell them. Good luck with that. I think maybe it has to do with the fact that there's a lot more Indian men in the country now than in the past, and a lot more Indian tourists than in the past. I know. Well, she used to be cute. She used to have a nice little body on her. But that, that's what happens. They get older, But I know from several women, they absolutely would not even consider being with an Indian man or, in some cases, a black man or a Russian or whatever. It just, it depends on the person, and I think that's, what else can you say about it? It's an individual decision. Just like it's an individual decision for you to come to Thailand and, like I keep saying, when I came here, I moved here knowing that the women they were different, far different, much more different than women in the United States, and I liked them, and I liked their mentality, and I liked how they were pretty laid back, at least the majority of them, unless you really pissed them off. And so, like I say, they should be the icing on the cake, not the, they should not be the cake. Don't come here just for them. If you're going to do that, like the guy before, which I forget his name, whatever it was, Sadiko. If you're gonna do that, then just come and have a good time. But don't expect to get in some relationship. And nowadays, if you're an older guy, why do you want to get into a relationship? I mean, if you want your ride or die girl or something like that, okay, I understand. Like me, I'm happy to be married. I'm fine. I like it. Now, there are days when I'm like, when I got these honeydew things. This morning, my wife is upstairs. She comes downstairs. She's making sure she's all ready to go to work or whatever. And I'm sitting there and she's going, oh, my legs. And I go, yeah, my legs are really sore. I go, I really don't feel like walking, but I know I need to go for a walk because it'll help stretch me out a little bit. I really need to, to just do it, whether you feel a little bit sore or not. She's like, oh, I'm so sore. Honey, will you go upstairs and turn the water off? I forgot I left the water on. And I'm like, wait a minute. I need to go upstairs and turn the water off because you were just up there and you forgot, and now you have your jeans on and you don't want to go in and turn the water off. And now it's not a big deal. It's nothing really, it's nothing that's a deal breaker or something. Oh my God, you're always asking me to go upstairs. No, but you know, like that's the kind of thing. It's like, oh Jesus, you can't go up yourself, honey. Like I got my jeans on, and my legs hurt, and I'm like, don't cry to me, because if I cry, no one cares. And that's the thing. If you're the man, most of the time, the women expect you to man up. Don't cry about it. You know, obviously if you're in extreme pain, that's a little different. You might be able to, you know, let out a little whelp or something, you know, you got a compound fracture of the fibula. I think, you know, they'll allow a little bit of crying, but for the most part, you're not allowed to do that because you're the man, and as it should be, you know. Hey, Carnivore Chronicles, what's happening? What'd it be like? I am getting ready to go to the gym, and then I am getting ready to have my afternoon feed. I've already made my meatloaf. And what else do I have? I've got my kimchi, I've got my salad. What else do I have? I got the meatloaf. I don't know, something else. Exactly, Gennaro. I kind of figured you would, you know, I think of you guys all the time, believe me. I might give you a hard time about the hottie alert, the sweaty Betty, and all that kind of stuff, but, you know, I know what it's like to be a guy over in America, and you're like, oh my God, look at that one. When can I get back over there? When can I get to Thailand? I need to see some beautiful Thai women. Or I need to see some beautiful Colombians, or whatever it is. No, no mashed potatoes for me. I got salad, I got kimchi. I don't know, I might have some tuna, I don't know what the hell. I don't know what I'm gonna have. I forgot. Anyway. And I am, oh, you know what I have to do? I have to buy some bacon. That's what I have to do. I love bacon. Who doesn't love bacon? I gotta get some bacon. And, yeah. Now, tomorrow is a Wednesday, and I think tomorrow is a day off from streaming. I think. It depends. When I wake up in the morning, depends on how sore I am, depends on, do I have a topic. I need a little time to regroup, and I need to edit some videos. I haven't had time. My time is so limited. Much more limited than in the past. And you know, some of that has to do with the one thing I like about the way that I eat is I use the air fryer quite often. And that makes it very easy. You throw the meat in the air fryer, and boom, you cook it up. It's done. And in the meantime, you're sitting there. You know, you're doing whatever you got to do. Maybe you're cooking something else. So, in other words, you don't have to sit there and watch it. So, you know, I love that about the air fryer. That is a fantastic apparatus. And, yeah. So, and then I got a bunch of other stuff to do in the afternoon. And then I may go to the gym again a second time in the evening. Nicholas is home right now. Alex is home. You know, Nicholas comes, he comes in the evening, and then he leaves by like noon. He's 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, he's gone. So I don't get to see him that much anymore, unfortunately. So yeah, the empty nest syndrome is settling in, slowly but surely. And that's something else to think about. if you're going to come over here, especially if you're a younger guy, you're going to come over here. Let's say, oh, you know, that place is the perfect place for me. I'm going to go to Colombia. I know I'll find myself the girl of my dreams. Some big-titted Colombiana. I know I'm going to find one. She's going to be the girl of my dreams. Okay, you find her. Then guess what? Not only are you in a foreign country, but now you're in a foreign country and you got to kind of build a life with her. You know, you've got to plan things. You've got to think about, well, what if we have kids? What are we going to do? How do we want to raise them? You got to make sure all those things are, all those bases are covered. And I think a lot of guys don't consider that. Now, if you're older and you're like 65 and, you know, you're with some 25-year-old chick or something like that, well, I would say if you really want to be responsible, you better make sure you have enough to cover it so that when you're gone, the kid will be taken care of and she'll be taken care of. Or at least, you know, for a period of time. There's no reason why she can't work, but not everybody is meant to be married nowadays. And I think I read earlier, I read to you guys that 50% of people between, I think the age was like 18 and 35, they don't have somebody in their life. They don't have a significant other. And you know, one of the things that, like when I was growing up, that I used to hear all the time, you used to hear like grandmothers, you know, their granddaughter would come over with the mother, and you know, they'd be hanging out, and and they do it in movies all the time. They'd have themselves a nice meal, and then the grandmother would, when am I gonna have some grandkids? And the daughter is like, well, I need to find a good man. Well, what about that guy that you were dating before, you know, the vacuum salesman? What about the other guy, you know, the guy that was an accountant? He was boring. So then they have all these excuses. Next thing you know, grandma's like almost dead. And she's like, I think it's raining. Yeah, it's raining, big time. It sounds like it. Anyway, let's take a little walk downstairs and see. Next thing you know, grandma's like, hey, you know, what's the deal? Well, you know, end of the month, after the first of the month, it's always about, you know, I got bills to pay. I don't have enough money. I better do that. You know, and so if you're out and if some chick's asking you for money straight away here in Thailand, that's a dead giveaway. I was at a wedding in my life. I said, you'll be next. I was in the future, and I said to my auntie, you'll be next. Well, I'm sure she loved that. Let's go check out the rain. Oh, I'm sore. Oof. Oh yeah, it's raining. Looks like the coconut lady has yet to arrive. Now this is Thailand. I have no umbrella and I am not going home. I'll get somebody to lend me their cable or something. Gennaro, I haven't talked to him in about a week. Last I heard, he was okay, but the pollution bothers him. He was getting better. He had been a little bit sick, and then he was getting better. He had, like, you know, a cough. He was getting better, but the pollution does affect him. And I haven't talked to him for a bit, but I've been planning to call him. Like I said, I've just been busy a lot of the time. And then, you know, sometimes when I like zonk out on the couch after a workout, there's no, oh, I want to talk to somebody for a half an hour or an hour. It just doesn't, it doesn't happen because I don't have, yeah, I'd rather, you know, oh, what's going on here? Oh, what happened? I know this thing didn't run out of juice. Well, I guess it did. My gimbal is out of juice. Unbelievable. Oh, battery's dead. Wow. I'm surprised. I must not have charged it up enough. He's getting soaked. All right, let's get out of here. Gotta be careful you don't slip here. Very slippery. Gnarly. Gnarly. Yeah, no way I'm going home right now. This area always smells good. It smells like perfume, and then it smells like bread. See here. I'm gonna go back over here. Yeah, that place is not opening up. There used to be fish. They would have fish in here, in this pond, but now they don't. No more. Okay. Okay. Well, it's been an interesting stream. I think we should hit up topics like this more often because, you know, although we have a core group of guys that come in and people are interested in Thailand, there's a lot of people who have been in other areas of the world, and they know all about the women. And while I have a little bit of experience, you know, traveling and with women around the world and seeing what they're like, it's good to get other perspectives from other people. So, very interesting. Yeah, well, you won't be catching anything now. They don't even have the ponds are drained now. The mall is good for one thing now and one thing only, and that is the Starbucks on the top floor. The Starbucks on the second floor closed. Starbucks on the G floor closed. You can go to the what do you call it? The grocery store. And yesterday, I don't know how my wife did it. I guess the place is still open, but she got some banchan for the kids, some chicken, and yeah, very interesting. You're welcome, Steve. Thank you. I guess so. That about wraps her up. Another stream, another podcast, whatever you want to call it. Another day. No, it's not open to the public. It is a public testing. However, I didn't see anybody on the train, so I don't know really what it means to be a public test as compared to a private test. But I've seen the train going by many times now. So they are testing it. So I do think June 1st is going to happen, and unfortunately I won't be here when they do start up, but I will be here a couple of weeks afterwards, well, towards the end of the month, end of June, and so I'll be able to try it out then, and let everybody go on and see if there's any mistakes, and if the thing flies off the rails or something, I won't be one of the first people, and it won't happen to me. That's happened before, not where the whole train fell off, but they've had little accidents in the past when they first started up the SkyTrain. So you don't want to really, I mean, would I do it? Yeah. I trust them enough, even though I shouldn't, to get on the first train, but since I'm not going to be here, it doesn't really matter. Anyway, click that thumbs up, click the subscribe, check down in the description all the ways you can help support the channel, whatever it may be. Hit the join button, hit the super chat button, hit the Cash App, whatever. Or just keep watching. That's good too. Keep joining, keep tuning in. Hopefully you learn a little something. You're somewhat entertained. And, well, thank you very much, Wesley. And as Gennaro says, choke the leo jerkan mai, which is good luck. And until later, until I see you later, yeah, until next time.